Talked about Bristol City having a good start to the season in the Championship at the weekend when they beat Sheffield United. They've had a good start tonight as well at Ashton Gate. Jason Knight with the early goal, and they lead MK Dons of League Two by 1-0. Do Bromley, as we wait for the team to come out here against Ipswich, do Bromley play for set pieces tonight? Is that still a thing?
I think it would be unfair of them on their own patch to play for set pieces, but they have to be realistic in terms of the quality that's out there with Ipswich. If Ipswich want to have the ball, Ipswich are going to have the ball. So they might have to be patient, playing transitions, trying to get on the counter-attack. But as I spoke about earlier, with set pieces and the size of their team, I think that's going to be a good way in.
And it's full tonight, by the looks of it. I know they've got building work going on. We've seen some grounds that look maybe like there aren't that many people in it. This will be different here.
Well, this is what you want. This is what it brings. The smaller clubs playing the bigger clubs, and that's for sure. That's what we want. That's the excitement of this cup competition. Once it gets going, I think it's a great opportunity for Bromley. It will be difficult for them.
Oh, it's a tight tunnel, isn't it? That as they come out there. Let's go to the ground then. Bromley against Ipswich, and we can join our commentary team this evening. Lee Hendry, and first of all, evening to Gary Weaver.
Yes, good evening, Mark. It's tight up here on the gantry as well, but me and Lee Hendry happy to see each other. So the cup, which made a fevered football city's dreams finally come true, comes into view again. The Carabao Cup, the real one, sits proudly in the city of Newcastle tonight, dressed in its black and white ribbons. Now those looking on with envious glances begin their bid to rip it from Newcastle United's grasp. For Bromley, just being part of this would have been beyond their wildest dreams a few years ago. But here they are, an EFL club, and now they stand alongside Ipswich Town, who were standing with the stars just months ago. Well, as for the teams, Bromley changed 7 from their weekend win here over Barnet. That means a start for Marcus Denanga, who's missed a year injured after damaging his Achilles last September. His strike partner, Nicky Kabamba, scored the second goal at the weekend. Bromley's wing-backs are key, and both remain from Saturday. Mitch Pinnock returned here in the summer. When he was first here, Bromley were in the then Conference South. A night like this seemed impossible. Michael Cheek, last season's League Two Golden Boot winner, is on the Bromley bench. Well, Ashley Young knows the way to the winner's podium in this tournament, and he makes his full Ipswich Town debut at the age of 40. At the other end of the scale is Finn Barbrook. At 20 years of age, he makes his Ipswich debut in a midfield produced by the Ipswich Academy. Ali Al-Hamadi knows this place inside out, having won the FA Trophy with Bromley during a loan spell here 3 years ago. There's no Nathan Broadhead. He is ill, and he looks like he's Wrexham bound. New signing Chuba Akpom is not yet involved. So plenty of changes being made by Andy Woodman for this. Lee Hendry changes his front line, a big chance for the two that start tonight.
Yeah, it's a different system, isn't it, with the two up top today, and Denanga and Kabamba. I know that's a mouthful, and I'm sure we'll be all evening, but I think these two could cause a hell of a lot of problems. We've got the physicality of Kabamba, scored his goal the weekend, and Denanga, he will feed off anything, flick-ons, getting behind, and he will disrupt the back line of Ipswich. One to keep a close eye on, because I think that's where it's all going to come. Likewise for Ipswich, I think down this left-hand side, I watched the Birmingham game, and Jack Clark, Davis didn't really affect it, didn't see the best out of these two. I think they'll want to make amends from that. I feel tonight this is the danger area. They will have a lot of football. This young man's talent is beyond, and we've seen so much of it. I think he could be the standout player and one to really keep an eye on. Bromley have to keep him quiet.
Well, this place is sold out. The East Terrace on the far side is still being completed. They hope to finish that off in just over a month's time. But it's a wonderful setup here at the Copper Jacks Community Stadium. 450 Ipswich Town fans have got tickets for this. They're in the South Terrace, away to our right. That's where they are in that far corner. And away to the left, the North Terrace is ready to go, full of the home fans. But those who've travelled from Suffolk, ready to roar their team on here. It will be Bromley in their all-white to get us underway. This is only Bromley's second ever League Cup tie. They became an EFL club for the first time in their 132-year history in May 2024. They ran into trouble in the first round of the Carabao Cup last season, losing to Wimbledon. Wimbledon then shocked Ipswich, beating them in the second round. Bromley are a team who like to get the ball forward quickly and be effective in the final third, and that is what they look to do from the off here with Odijeo. Plenty in the Ipswich Town box already. Leif Davis having to retreat here as Thompson made his presence count. And it goes behind for a corner. A positive start by Bromley.
Yeah, real positive start. Just what you'd expect from the home side. I mean, the atmosphere's bouncing around here. Super surface to go and play football on, and straight away asking questions. Bromley, direct, positive.
Well, they do so much work on set pieces here at Bromley. Andy Woodman calls them the golden nuggets. What can they produce from this? They're away amongst those waiting in the middle. Marcus Eiffel goes in low. Diverts behind again, and it will be another Bromley corner.
Yeah, it was one of them where looking for Pinnock just to make that forward bursting run towards the near post. Ball was zipped in, he just wants to flick it into the 6-yard area.
It goes into a dangerous area again. There's Pinnock. Great ball in, and the first real opportunity of the night coming away of Bromley, and away after a testing, teasing ball in from Eiffel.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the pace that he just couldn't really guide that home, but well worked, wasn't it? Little dink in that far post was away. He just can't cushion that header down, but really good start.
There's Kipre looking for Ali Al-Hamadi, an FA Trophy winner with Bromley 3 years ago during a loan spell here. Clark trying to get the better of Eiffel, and he emerges with the ball. On the outside, as ever, is Leif Davis, who goes in low, and a miscue in the end by Ogbene. But Ipswich offering a threat early on.
Oh, what a big chance. Do you know what? I watched this very similar situation in the warm-up, and I tell you what, it was identical. The little cut back there, left-hand side, Leif Davis. Well, Benny's got to do better. He really has. Inside the 18-yard box, no one really near him. He completely gets the shot wrong.
Well, Jack Clark and Leif Davis linking up well down the Ipswich left, and 2 years ago when Ipswich were in the Championship, Leif Davis was always a threat roaming down the left. Had Nathan Broadhead mainly ahead of him in that particular campaign. Jack Clark, a completely different player, a winger who likes to play as a winger, operating on the left in front of Davis for Ipswich tonight.
Yeah, it's a luxury side for Ipswich down the left, isn't it? With, as I said, trusty left foot of Leif Davis and the quality of Jack Clark. I do feel that there's a lot to come down this side this evening.
Well, clubs are after Leif Davis. Ipswich Town are desperate to hang on to Leif Davis. Al-Hamadi. There's Ashley Young. Kind of occasion he may well enjoy tonight. Any football game right now is an occasion for him to enjoy. Age 40, he was a regular starter under Sean Dyche at Everton last season, playing in that right-back position, which is where Kieran McKenna sees him operating for Ipswich.
Yeah, you can understand why, can't you? And I think with this quality that they have in this squad, I think he's a great addition. I really do. Even at that age, I looked at him walking through the tunnel, and he's no different to when he was a young man. He still has that experience, doesn't he? Can play either side as well.
Young involved again. Ogbene. Odeteo. Kabamba looking to try and make a move for that. They score the second goal in Bromley's 2-0 win over Barnet here at the weekend. Bromley with a draw and a win so far in League Two. Draw at Shrewsbury and the victory here over Barnet on Saturday. There's Clark again, moving forward and up the gears. Connor Chaplin. Now Young. There's Ogbene. Ipswich do expect to see plenty of the ball here tonight. Bromley and the Woodmen will admit are a team who are better without the ball.
Yeah, well, listen, it works and it has done for quite some time, hasn't it? Direct has always been their game, and they will be compact. They don't mind surrendering possession. Let's just go back to this chance. This was a real big chance, you know. Pinnock there just teeing up. I feel, as I said, I think the pace on the ball made it a little bit more of a harder header, but I mean, for such a positive start, in a way, I'd feel him to do a little bit better, at least test the goalkeeper. That's a frustration. Andy Woodman.
He's a character, isn't he, Andy Woodman? They say his man management is off the scale too, and he's been around as a coach at Newcastle, the academy at Arsenal as well. The dream maker here as that is sent in by Eiffel. Ali Al-Hamadi looking to try and get Ipswich up the pitch. But definitely the dream maker here, the man who made history here by taking Bromley from non-league football into the EFL. Unthinkable. Not even a decade ago, but he made the impossible possible.
Yeah, he's done a remarkable job. I think what they've done here at the football club is remarkable. I really do. And even last season proved that they weren't a million miles away from being in them playoffs. I think they'll want to go again this season. Fabulous start to the season as well.
Well, it was nice neat football there from Ipswich to get themselves out of a tight spot. A football we've become accustomed to seeing under Kieran McKenna. Chaplin's after this, likewise Odeteo, who finds his keeper Sam Long. Long goes long, and Kabamba looks to bring that ball under his spell. The referee tonight is Matthew Russell. Ipswich themselves walked into a cauldron on Friday night at St Andrews facing Birmingham City. They managed to emerge unscathed, but they were given a testing time at Birmingham. Kieran McKenna admits they have to improve on what they showed on Friday night. They definitely want to see more of the ball this season than they were allowed to see in the last campaign in the Premier League.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a key point, and McKenna knows exactly what he wants from his players. And I watched the game against Birmingham. They really did make it difficult for them. That's what they're going to be up against this season in the Championship. That's what it's all about. It's so competitive. He knows all about that. But he will have them demands on his players that he has to be better, have to be braver.
There's Eiffel. Alira away, trying to get the better of Ali Al-Hamadi. Bit of an audition for Ali Al-Hamadi tonight. Clubs have been knocking on Ipswich Town's door to take him away on loan. He was on loan at Stoke last season. Show Me slides in. There's Davis. Now Clark. Ashley Young. And Crowhouse in the way. Hamady hunted down. Bromley looking for something on the counter-attack here with Marcus Dinanga. Eiffel involved again. We mentioned in the team news the wing-backs are absolutely key for Bromley. Eiffel, not one for giving up. There's Clark. Now Davis. Chaplin trying to move the ball on. Al-Hamadi gives chase. Show Me gets to it.
Good strength from Show Me. Knows it. He's got Al-Hamadi breathing down his neck. As you said, Gary, wing backs are so important in this formation for Bromley, getting high up the pitch, but also getting back into a solid structure as they have done now, back into that back five. And they have to offer that width.
Playing this three at the back formation is a good formation to play when you're not expecting to have a lot of the ball. Benny makes his move forward. Show Me puts a stop to that. He's another though who is trying to get back to match sharpness. There's Chio Benny after his injury nightmare. Al-Hamadi gets his head on it, but couldn't direct it on target.
Well, this is an opportunity for lots of players out there. This is a bit of play on that right-hand side. It's difficult for Al-Hamadi to try and guide that. But it really is, I mean, cup competitions, there's lots of changes. Still early on in the season. Can you try and fight for your shirt? Can you put yourself in the window at some scenario for some of these players? That's what it's all about.
There's Ogbene. Applause ringing out around the stadium here in tribute to Don White, a lifelong fan of both Bromley and Ipswich Town. Don sadly passed away in the summer, but being remembered by Bromley fans and Ipswich Town fans here tonight. Aleraway gets the better of Ali Al-Hamadi. There's Finn Barbrook. Now Young. Benny again. He's got two for company. Young once more. Benny and Show Me in the way for Bromley. Not for the first time tonight.
What a super clearance that was.
Here come Ipswich Town again. Benny, who's seeing plenty of the ball. Ashley Young. Clark. Might fancy this on his right foot. He did fancy it. It was blocked by his own man, Connor Chaplin. Bromley not getting the free kick that they were looking for. Benny again, faced by Pinnock. It goes behind for an Ipswich Town corner.
Yeah, real good spell for Ipswich Town. Really positive, nice and crisp on the passing. This ball in. It's a real good clearance from the big centre half. And Show Me, he has to be aware, which he is, because if he isn't, it's a simple tap in there for Al-Hamadi.
Well, he used to be at Ipswich. Omar Show Me is a youngster. Maybe a bit of a point to prove here tonight against his former club. He could be called into action again here. Plenty of lift on that. Too much. And it goes beyond everybody. Well, there were clubs ready to knock on Kieran McKenna's door in the summer and take it from Ipswich Town, but He met with Ipswich Chief Executive Mark Ashton at Mark Ashton's house at the end of the season, and Mark asked Kieran if he was all in and ready to face the might of the Championship again, and the answer was yes, and that was it. Davis, Allaire away, flicked on by Thompson. Awkward one for Wolfenden to deal with. There's Ben Thompson again. Arthurs. There goes Pinnock. Bene, once again, foot down on the gas. When he's at full pelt, he can be difficult to stop. But Bromley have dealt with it for now. That's Crowhouse. Pinnock on the outside. Kabamba and Denanga are both waiting in the middle. Away by Davis. Al-Hamadi. Well, Connor Chaplin trying to slide that ball through, and it managed to reach Al-Hamadi initially, but once again, Show Me in round two comes out on top.
Yeah, he's been excellent, hasn't he? I mean, anything that's been thrown in behind has had to be really on his guard. This is a really good run from both Ipswich Town players. Al-Hamadi tries to get him behind, and Jack Clark's just hovering round for anything that just drops back, but Show Me stands big, strong. He's not allowing Al-Hamadi to go by him.
He's a part-time model as well, Omar Show Me. Not like us, Lee, modelling balaclavas.
Speak for yourself, Gary.
But a nice little sideline. And he makes his way forward, ready to try and make an impact here.
I can now see why, Gary.
Once again lifted in by Eiffel, and Christian Walton just about holds on. He gets the free kick in any case.
Yeah, a little nudge in the back there for Walton. It's disrupted him as he wants to claim that. Just a little push there from Alloway.
Well, he used to be a goalkeeper. That's his background. Andy Woodman. And of course his son Freddie's doing pretty well now at Liverpool, Freddie Woodman. Young on the move, but it comes to nothing. And here's Oditeo for the home team. Denanga's protected the ball well. Oditeo again. Wolfenden loses out to Kabamba. That's Pinnock. There's Kipre, who was back in English football after a spell with Reims in France last season. Relegated last season. Humphreys. Now Barbrook. Plenty of talk about the young Ipswich Town midfielder. He had a really good spell at Sutton in the last campaign.
Yeah, it's a nice young midfield, isn't it, in there? The central, taking the ball, always available.
Bene thought he was held back there, and the referee agrees.
Yeah, it did look. Benny was just going to get away. I'm not sure he was going to get on the end of it, but Pinnock just pulling him back. He's just cut inside there. Maybe he might have, particularly with his pace. Clear foul. The two wide areas have been really key for Ipswich Town, and just have a look at that. All this man on the pitch, dictating the ball, bossing the ball. affecting the game down that right-hand side. There's been a lot of ball down that right side with Ogbene.
Young standing over this. Wolfenden gets his head on it. Clark with the touch. Ali Al-Hamadi. He's surrounded. And a foul by Jack Clark on Eiffel.
He's not too happy, Jack Clark. He just comes back out and not he does. It's a bit scrappy, isn't it? No way of finding any solution. So clearly see Eiffel gets that touch just ahead of Jack Clark.
I mentioned that Ipswich have different options again down the left-hand side this season. Jaden Philogene and Jack Clark in front of Leif Davis, and that means they might attack down their left-hand side a little bit differently to how they did it a couple of years ago in the Championship. They don't want to be as predictable in terms of teams knowing what they will face from Ipswich in the second tier. Shot from Dinanga. In by Eiffel, away by Wolfenden. Here's Ali Al-Hamadi. He's got Show Me for company again. Jack Clark, he hits the deck and gets the free kick this time. He's not hanging around. He tries to set Ogbene away, but the referee says the ball was rolling.
Yeah, I would like to see one of them more advanced midfielders, wide men, just maybe pushing up a little bit more. Just feel that Al-Hamadi's bringing in one of them three centre-halves into an area probably where they don't want to be. I know that Ipswich want to keep hold of the ball, but that ball that's played over the top is always on.
Chance here for Humphreys to set Ogbene away. Thumped away by Show Me that time. Eiffel. Played against Bromley in a pre-season friendly, and that display convinced Andy Woodman to sign him. Thompson moves the ball on, looking for Dinanga. Kipre tidies up. Humphreys. Like his midfield partner, Finn Barbrook, is Ipswich Town through and through. Well, Kipre has a look at Davis, who has a look at Clark, who has a look at Davis, who has a look at Kipre. There's Eiffel. Eiffel again has continued his run. He's been heavily involved for Bromley in the opening quarter of this game.
Yeah, he's been the bright spark, hasn't he? I feel that any time it's come down this right-hand side, he does look a threat. He's getting forward, he's got bags of energy. I like the fact that he's really positive when he's in that 1v1. Whether it's against Leif Davis, he feels he's got the better of him.
Dinanga involved again. That's just got away in the end from Nicky Kabamba. Bromley missed out on the League Two playoffs by 4 points last season. And Andy Woodman was devastated because he felt they had enough to make the top 7 in League Two. He said that at the start of the campaign. He says he wasn't being arrogant. He just believed that his team could make the playoffs in the last campaign, and that, again, the top 7 is the aim this season.
Well, they had a really strong finish to the season as well, didn't they? Which you can understand his frustration. I think you know as a manager, head coach, what you've got in the changing room. And to be fair, last season they weren't far off it at all.
Kipre, the flag is up for offside. Well, Ed Sheeran watching on with his dad John, who's from Bromley. Ed Sheeran does actually have a squad number this season, number 17, and even with all the changes tonight, he's still not made it. But a big night for him and his dad John, being from Bromley. both sat there alongside Mark Ashton, who was still getting through plenty of work in terms of incomings and outgoings at Ipswich Town. Foul by Chaplin. That East Terrace is still being built on that far side. When it is completed, the capacity here will be around about 6,000, which will mean plenty more cash for Bromley. What they have done recently has been life-changing for this football club. Al-Hamadi, he gets to this. Ali Al-Hamadi trying to go around long. It's Jack Clark, and Bromley survive. Show me once again in the way, but Ipswich Town did not make the most of that.
Yeah, well, it was all about the pass that led to that big opportunity for Ipswich. Hamadi should do better. Super pass from Connor Chaplin that made that through ball.
Eiffel on the move here for Bromley, looking to cause problems at the other end.
That's the first real time that Hamadi hasn't come short. He's gone in behind. And the pass is brilliant. It really is. It's a teasing one that the defender has to get right. Connor Chaplin just passes that in straight into Hamadi. He makes that big call to challenge, but going away from goal. He has to reset, and it ends up being a brilliant block. One more show me. Makes amends for going to ground early doors.
Jack Clark to Davis. That's Eiffel. Dinanga. There's Thompson. Just applies straight at Millwall. Crowhouse on the move here. Stronger on his left side. Tried to get the ball onto his left foot, but ran into Ashley Young.
Yeah, I think the wrong choice for me. Just gets his head up, and Kabamba makes a really good run. Just needs to be slid in between the defenders. Chooses to go alone.
Ben Crowhouse, who did originally come through here at Bromley before moving to Brentford for a record fee for this club in terms of sales, undisclosed record fee. Back now here on loan. There's Clark to Young. Ogbene, Connor Chaplin buzzing around the pitch as usual, but loses his footing. Odeteo trying to find a way out. Dinanga caught by Kipre. And the referee would like a word with the former West Bromwich Albion centre-back.
Yeah, it's a rash challenge. It's one that he had to get right as well. And he's completely disrupted that counter-attack from Bromley. Knows exactly what he's doing. Cedric Kipre, straight through the back. Marcus Dinanga just protects it well, but lucky not to go in the book for that one.
Cedric Kipre did speak to his long-time pal Sam Morsey about life at Ipswich before making the move to Portman Road. Sam Morsey having since departed. They were together at Wigan, those two. Shock could be on at the Riverside. Doncaster 2-0 up now against Middlesbrough. There's Davis. Graham Alexander, former Burnley man, will be happy too. Bradford 2-0 up of Blackburn Rovers. There's Young. Ipswich again, just trying to smuggle that ball through to Ogbene.
It's not really happened, has it, for Ipswich? I know that they've dominated lots of the football, which we truly expected. Look at what they've created. I mean, that chance for Al-Hamadi should be 1-0, there's no doubt. Quality to Bromley. Look nice and solid defensively. Just that little bit of quality going into them forward players. That's all that's needed at the moment.
Odeteo trying to roll that ball through to Crowhouse. There's Arthurs. Denanga stretching. And almost a year out of the game with an Achilles injury, Marcus Denanga. Only recently returned, and that injury happened just as he was starting life as a Bromley player.
He scored a lot of goals at Gateshead, didn't he, that earned him his move. Lots of different goals as well. That's why I felt that them two could cause a major problem to Ipswich, but I don't think they've had enough quality and service to them.
Well, Davis gave that ball away, and Eiffel tried to roll it through to Kabamba, but put too much on it. Bromley would have been in.
Yeah, well, that just typifies it, just the quality. I mean, you get yourself in a good area, you win the ball back, and then it's just a poor pass, and a simple one at that. Kabamba just, once it rolled into his feet, there's no one around him.
But Leif Davis, a relieved man after that. It was his giveaway which set Bromley on the way. Humphreys. Now Kipre. Davis looking to measure the cross. You know who? In the way again. Show me.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to take something special, hasn't it, really, to bypass the three centre-halves. I know that they're trying to work the wide areas right and left, and there's always someone that's covering, be it that front post, in the middle of the back post. It's one area that they've really been successful at this evening.
Ipswich Town attacking the north terrace end of the Copperjacks Community Stadium, which is where Ashley Young is preparing to take this corner. Again, plenty of lift on it, looking for Wolfenden at the far post. Davis. Ogbene. Bit of room for Varbrook. Younger stay forward here.
Oh, he'll feel that that's a chance for him. It's a deep cross, isn't it? That's because the two fullbacks have switched sides. It's deep. It's a difficult one. I think you get the full connection, which he does do. Davis, deep cross, and then if you can hit the target, give yourself every chance. Tight angle. Just have a look at this. Kipre really getting held, not able to go and cause them defenders problems. Just one to keep an eye on.
Flag up as Bromley looks to threaten the Ipswich Town goal again. Barbrook. There's Young. Ipswich Town have never won the League Cup in their rich history. Semi-finalists on 4 occasions. They were knocked out of this competition in the second round a year ago, a giant killing act by Wimbledon, who had put out Bromley in the previous round. There's Kipre. Clark. This is where he can threaten Jack Clark, moving inside onto his right foot. Got no real trouble in the end for Sam Long in the Bromley goal.
Yeah, it's better from Jack Clark, though. He's been threatening that all evening. Ends up finding himself all the way central. He's got to pull something really special out of the bag. Much more positive from him. I want to see him taking on his opponent as much as possible.
Yeah, and as ever, his opponent knows what he wants to do. It's one thing knowing it, it's another thing trying to stop it. There's Barbrook. Clark. The spin from Chaplin. And it's over the top from him, but he's always a threat, lurking in those kind of areas just outside the box.
Yeah, he's a handful. That's what I like about Connor Chaplin. Buzzing around, always wants to get on the ball, try and instigate things. Clever pass that he put through Al-Hamadi. I think Kieran McKenna will be pleased, obviously, with keeping hold of the ball. Just the one shot on target's disappointing, though. I think for lots of areas where they've dominated, obviously haven't caused as many problems as he probably would have liked. Patient game.
Well, they've come down from the Premier League, a very different club. There's a target on their back now. Ipswich Town playing in the Championship and on nights like this in the Carabao Cup. There's Ogbene picking out Leif Davis. It's Davis who drills it wide.
Yeah, it's good work. I mean, flooding the box, as you'd imagine. Bene just gets his head up. He sees Leif Davis, edge of the box, no one near him. That first touch makes it difficult then. He has to adjust. Tries that half volley, just drags the shot.
Well, more football coming your way from the Carabao Cup tomorrow. We are in the second city, Birmingham City against Sheffield United. See that from 7 on Sky Sports Football. And around about 7:20 will be the second round draw. It's bouncing in Birmingham, isn't it, Lee?
Always.
Maybe not tonight because you're not there. There's Ogbene. Faced by Pinnock, backed up by Young. Loose from him. This is Thompson, who's quickly hunted down by Humphreys. There's Young again, who hasn't arrived at Ipswich Town to be a player coach. Doesn't want a coach, no interest in that right now, says Kieran McKenna from Ashley Young, but he has converted a couple, as Kieran McKenna. For Ashley Young right now, it's all about playing. Here he is again. Kipre. Chance for Eiffel to drive Bromley up the pitch. Good covering no from Leif Davis.
That's excellent defending. It's a wrong pass for me. Jack Clark's in so much space on this left-hand side, screaming for the ball.
Leif Davis's hometown club is where the Carabao Cup right now resides. The city of Newcastle. There's Young. Bit of room for Connor Chaplin. Again, he picks up these really intelligent pockets of space.
Yeah, he does. He makes things happen. He really does, Gary, and that's the thing. He hasn't been able to do so. It's compact. It's so congested in that area. He's the one that will make Ipswich tick. He might just pick that clever little pass, that clever little bit of movement that he has. He needs something like that.
Jack Clark, just a heavy touch from him in the end. Kipre should deal with this, but you think about that number 10 position for Ipswich. Connor Chaplin playing there tonight, Sammy Smodis can play there, Chuba Akpom's arrived. That's where he had that wonderful season with Middlesbrough playing in that position.
Yeah, they've definitely got options, good options at that as well.
Cuba Akpom not involved tonight. There's Barbrook. Kipre rolls that ball into the path of Leif Davis. Ogbene will try and keep Ipswich on the front foot here. Ogbene. Eiffel sees the ball away from the danger zone.
Yeah, you think you can see exactly what they're trying to instigate down this left-hand side, and I think you touched on it, Gary. They don't want to be too predictable, and that's why he's drifting into them inside pockets. He's leaving the space for Jack Clark. Just again there, Jack Clark's gone more inside and left Leif Davis out on this touchline. You have to utilise it as much as possible, because I feel that's where the quality is.
Young with the cross. Show me with the header away, but the flag is up for offside. But yeah, that's exactly what they're talking about at Ipswich Town. Leif Davis, rather than going on the outside at times this season, well, he'll mix it up, going outside and also attacking inside and leaving a space for Jack Clark.
Well, the thing is, I mean, this evening you've got Marcus Eiffel, who's been excellent for Bromley on this right-hand side. And to be quite honest, I think it just gives him ideas. He gets into a routine of following one certain player. But if there's that movement, it's not what players like defensively. That's how you catch players out, and that's what they did with that ball that was threaded through for Leif Davis. Unfortunately, cross wasn't good enough.
Kipre. There's Clark. Away from Thompson, trying to skip away from Arthurs, who stood his ground. Once again, Bromley trying to get the ball forward quickly. It's what they do. Try and be effective as quickly as possible in the final third.
Yeah, you can see what they're doing. I mean, straight away the first thought is into the front men. But there's a lot of distance to cover for the 2-8s or the two wide players. Need to get up and give them support. It's a difficult role in that midfield, and the quality has to be better. I'm sure that's what Andy Woodman will be saying, because they have had some really good situations of the ball, but quality in the final third just hasn't quite been there for them.
There's Davis. And the shot is just over the top from Connor Chaplin. Again, arriving on the scene, timed to perfection, but couldn't quite deliver.
Again, this is exactly what they worked on in the warm-up. Identical, like the Ogbene one, where he scuppered the shot. This one was more connection from Connor Chaplin. Maybe expect him to do better. He's not a million miles off.
Well, he's had a couple of sights of the Bromley goal as Connor Chaplin. Crowhouse, again trying to get it on his stronger left foot. And it loops up and behind for a Bromley corner.
Ipswich have to be aware of these little situations, and this was a little bit better, a bit scruffy. Crowhouse does well. Knows he's got to take that shot on.
Well, he's a real fans' favourite around here, is Ben Crowhouse, having come through the academy here before departing for Brentford and since returning on loan. And we know Bromley can be a real threat from set pieces, as we said earlier. They work tirelessly on them. It's Show Me You Got Up, and it's in! It's forced in! He had the chance early on, did Deji, and then away. He didn't take it then. He is taking that one. And Bromley, who've been waiting for this night to come, the night's arrived. Bromley have arrived. Ipswich Town up against it.
That's what they're all about, there's no doubt. And we said it might be a set piece. I've always touched on that in the studio. They're very good at these situations. They work on them relentlessly. Show me who's been one of the best players on the pitch for Bromley defensively. There's two centre-halves combined there. Deep cross, goalkeeper comes. Can't come unless you are convinced that you're going to get some contact. Once he comes, he's way out of his depth. Holloway, his partner in crime, just cushions that home, having missed that early header.
And Andy Woodman's high five there with Brannon Daly, who's the goalkeeper coach who works tirelessly, as we mentioned, on these set pieces. Andy Woodman calls them the golden nuggets for Bromley. They have struck gold.
Brilliant. It's exactly what they work on. And I mean, everyone says about set pieces, they are, and they're getting more and more frequent. We're seeing set piece coaches coming in, and they work on relentlessly, and that's one of the reasons why they have that physicality in the side, have quality delivery, and it's worked again.
Away by Kipre, who had to make that count. So Bromley's dream moment on Bromley's dream night, delivered by Deji Alaraway. It was a set piece. Of course it was a set piece for Bromley. It's what they do. And Ipswich, who've seen plenty of the ball, Ali Al-Hamadi with their best opportunity but didn't take it. They have been hit just before the break. At the break, Bromley 1, Ipswich Town 0.
Ipswich are going to make a change at the break. Leif Davis will be coming off and Ben Johnson will be coming on. But the message, surely, from Kieran McKenna is, look, you've had the possession, you've created the chances, you've got to be a bit more clinical.
Yeah, I think there's a level of clinical. I think then a little bit more urgency as well within their play. I think I expected Ipswich to dominate the game, dominate the ball and create lots of chances. Hasn't been as many chances as we'd thought. I think this was probably a preempted change, probably play half each. But I expect to see some strikers coming on the pitch soon as well.
Yeah, I think for me it's about the tempo, the level, the control of the possession. We talked about Bromley in a defensive situation. When you play slow, it gives them an opportunity to sit in. Now they've got something to fight for, so intensity levels must increase.
OK, but it's been a good first half for Bromley. They lead Ipswich by 1-0. Let's head back to our commentary team. Hopefully there were no problems with their plumbing facilities at half-time for Lee Hendry and Gary Weaver.
I can only speak for myself, Mark. No. But Bromley have history awaiting them again here, potentially. They have never won a League Cup tie. This, albeit only their second ever League Cup tie, having become an EFL club in May 2024. They have the lead here. They're making a couple of changes at the break. Ben Thompson and Nicky Kabamba both withdrawn. Will Hondermark will step into midfield, and Michael Cheek, 26 goals to his name last season, 25 in League Two, the League Two Golden Boot winner. He is on. So Ipswich didn't quite get back on their team bus and head out of here at half-time. They have arrived back for the second half, and they're attacking the south stand terrace end of this stadium here, where around about 450 of their fans are housed. They're in a spot of bother right now, Ipswich Town, and they're looking to get out of it. Ben Johnson on for Ashley Young is their half-time change. On for Leif Davis, I should say, their half-time change, which means that Ashley Young has remained at right back and Ben Johnson is operating at left back.
Yeah, I think that's just to freshen things up, isn't it? That's obviously in that stage of the season where obviously players getting minutes. I do wonder when they are going to bring the likes of Sammy Smodic, George Hurston maybe. At the moment, I just feel that that's where they've lacked. I mean, just the one shot on target, it's been pretty poor for all the possession that they've had. It has to be better.
Ali Al-Hamadi, who had that big chance in the first half, being watched again by Show Me, who's had an impressive night so far at the heart of that Bromley back three. Johnson. A reminder that Bromley did initially change 7 from their weekend win over Barnet ahead of this tonight. A couple couple of changes though made at half-time. Most notably the introduction of Michael Cheek, who has been linked with a move away from here, but Bromley fairly confident they will be able to keep hold of last season's League Two Golden Boot winner.
Yeah, I mean, the talisman obviously coming on and in this second half, scores goals, has done season after season. They'll want to keep hold of him for sure, particularly if they are to then have that push this season to get the promotion that wanted.
Connor Chaplin. There's Young. Now Wolfenden. This is Kipre. Right-footed, but no stranger to playing as that left-sided centre-back, Cedric Kipre. This is Chaplin. Well, Benny gives chase. Odeteo across, covering the ground, and Bromley get the decision.
I've been really impressed with Bromley's back three. I really have. They've all covered each other. If it's gone down one channel, one's come across. Just what you'd expect. Andy Woodman's side, organised defensively.
Well, Idris Odeteo is a player who has been on the books of Fulham. Was there until he moved to Bromley. Part of this Bromley back line tonight. Ricochets kindly for Chaplin. Here's Jack Clark trying to smuggle that ball through to Connor Chaplin. Well, Bromley looking for something as ever on the counter-attack.
It'll be a little different with Michael Cheek being on the field of play. He will spin channels, he will run into areas as he's doing now. Looking for balls that will stretch the back line of Ipswich.
Ashley Young survives the handball appeals. Barbrook. Jack Clark driving Ipswich Town up the pitch. Running into the goal scorer, Haleraway. I think Ed Sheeran's just arrived back on the scene. First song, by the way, at half-time on the PA was an Ed Sheeran tune, which I'm sure he's delighted about. Al-Hamadi. Away by Odeteo. And Ipswich will settle for the corner. Wolfenden once again makes his way forward. Ali Al-Hamadi lurking, looking to cause his former club a problem here. Dropped in towards that near post, towards the area where Ali Al-Hamadi was. Odeteo once again tidying up for Bromley. And this could well be the pattern of the second half.
Yeah, they'll sit in, they'll make it hard again. I said they won't be fussed about Ipswich dominating the football, the possession. It's just what can Ipswich come up with? Can they break this solid structure down? They've struggled up to now.
Ipswich have won just 3 of their last 12 League Cup ties inside 90 minutes. Connor Chaplin. Barbrook. Chaplin again. Dinanga. He did score 4 goals in a pre-season game against the Tottenham 11 a few weeks ago. Pinnock with the delivery. Helped away by Johnson. Eiffel. Away. There's Show Me.
I'm just thinking what Ipswich can do differently. Can ask more questions of Bromley. The times that I've seen them where they've looked dangerous is when the balls have been spun in behind. I think Bromley are happy just getting back into that formation, allowing Ipswich to have the ball in front of them. I don't think they like that chasing behind, which we've seen where they are. How many chance come from in that first half where he just broke free. Chaplin picked him out. I haven't seen enough of that, to be quite honest. It's easy for Bromley just to get back into their units.
Well, that was an audacious attempt. No problem in the end for Christian Walton in that Ipswich Town goal. Young. Trying to outwit Denanga. Bromley looking to close in on Ipswich Town here. Good use of the chest by Chaplin. Ogbene. On the mark is after him. Ogbene did well there, and it's Chaplin! And it strikes the woodwork, but the rebound is forced home. Ben Johnson, the half-time substitute, arriving on the scene in the nick of time as far as Ipswich Town are concerned. And they have found their answer.
How good is that? How quick is that? They're total under pressure in that back line. This comes all the way back from Christian Walton, where he plays that ball to Kipre. It goes into Connor Chaplin. Young into Ogbene, and then he stretches, he opens his legs. Not done that too many times. The ball in the touch from Connor Chaplin's brilliant. Tees himself up. It's a super save, by the way, from Sam Long. But you have to follow up the pieces, and that's exactly what Ben Johnson does. He's got an empty net, but he's on the scene to stick it in.
Well, Sam Long unlucky there, because that is a fabulous stop. But Ben Johnson was on his toes and slammed it home to level up for Ipswich Town. And as we saw in the Championship 2 seasons ago under Kieran McKenna, he uses his bench to perfection.
Yeah, he does. And that's what it needed, something a little bit different. And yes, when Johnson comes on, immediate impact. Good to see Ogbene really utilising his pace.
He's in a scrap again here with Pinnock, but he had 2 for company in that move, and he found a way through.
It's all about stretching, it's all about asking questions. A solid defence. That's the first time really picked the ball up on the halfway line, and it has come back to front and really stretched. But then you've got bodies that are flooding into the box. Super counter-attack.
Maybe they'll do their half-time team talks on the team bus more often. There was a bit of a problem with the away dressing room here, which is why Ipswich had to get on the bus at half-time. Wolfenden. There's Young. A bit disappointed with himself, former England man. His presence will be absolutely key for Ipswich in that dressing room or team bus. I'll leave it now. There's Pinnock. Chaplin. And once again in that move to the goal, we saw Ogbene's searing pace. We saw Chaplin again picking up those little pockets. It was he whose shot was kept out, and Johnson had the presence of mind to be on the scene to finish things off.
Well, that's what Sometimes that 10 position, people think it's a luxury, but I've just seen him picking the ball up in a more deeper role. He's looking for that little bit of movement where he's trying to pick out Benny there. But we did say that he's the one that can instigate something, making them forward movements. It's hard to pick up defensively, but the quality of his touch, then the strike. You have to credit, I mean, it was a super save from Sam Long.
Chaplin again. There's Clark. Clark hits the deck, gets the free kick. And the referee wants to take it again. It will be interesting to see how Ipswich do shape up once the transfer window is closed. Amari Hutchinson's still an Ipswich Town player, but that's a £35 million release clause that he has in his contract. That deadline is now passed, which is why Ipswich will be demanding more money than that. Nathan Broadhead, Wrexham bound in the next couple of weeks, by the looks of it. And Ipswich hoping to bring in a handful of players before the transfer window closes.
They want to get back into the Premier League, won't they? Having had a taste and been on this journey. Kieran McKenna.
Clark. Bromley looking for something on the counter-attack. The flag stays down as Cheek picks up. He's got runners ahead of him, including Arthurs. Now Denanga. It's Denanga! And Walton stands his ground.
Wow, that's brilliant. Really is. Just clever play. Michael Cheek just peeling away from his defender. It's the counter-attack, but have a look. Jude Arthurs, he's absolutely busting his gut to get in the box, which takes that defender out, creates the space there for Denanga, and he hits it hard, but it's straight. Walton has an easy save, just parries it away, but brilliant play.
Come the home team again, attacking their favoured north terrace end of this stadium. Handball claims, the referee saw nothing wrong with it. Odeteo just having a check of his shoulders. Knew that Ali Al-Hamadi was bearing down on him, but Idris Odeteo comes away with the ball. Young, Ogbene. Forward by Humphreys, Chaplin. Ogbene again, ushered forward. Was he held back? Yes, he was, just outside the box. Well, yellow card shown to Pinnock.
Very lucky. Pinnock. The ball that's just played in behind him. He's caught on his heels. He knows he's got to produce something. He just has that little touch on Bennett outside of the box. A little coming together.
So a booking for Mitch Pinnock, who was a standout player for Northampton last season, turned down a new deal to stay there. Now back at Bromley, and Ashley Young is having a look at this. So Bennett's on the outside, should he need him. Lifted in invitingly by Young. Interesting. No problems over Sam Long. Rifle on the burst, he goes down. And Bromley get the free kick this time.
Well, that's what they're good at. Sam Long knows what he's all about. He knows what he's got to do. He distributes that pass right into that far right-hand corner. Krause does well. Takes it up the pitch and then he gets his support. Because Highfield does really well as well. He's got a little bit of flow where he could just push it by Ben Johnson. That's where he draws a foul.
Well, we've already seen how dangerous they are from set pieces. He scored with a really well-worked free kick against Barnet at the weekend from the right-hand side. Not too dissimilar position. It was Cheek who put it away. And he's waiting again inside the box. And they try to roll it to Hondermark. Best laid plans and all that.
I like the fact that they're still trying things on. I mean, you have to do things differently. All coaches look into everything, don't they? And that one that was well worked the weekend for Cheek, just peeled from round the back to that near post. Something a little bit different.
That's Pinnock, and that takes a nick and carries through to Walton. Wasn't that long ago that Bromley were playing in the then Conference South in front of around about 200 fans here with part-time players made up of teachers, security guards. Now here they are having a night like this in the Carabao Cup.
They've come a long way, haven't they? I mean, looking at that new stand that's going to be built over that far side. And what they've put into this place, the training ground that's runs alongside the back of the far goal. Absolutely magnificent, it really is. They've come and made real progress. And you can understand why they're having that success and attracting players.
Well, Robin Stanton-Gleaves is the man who's helped make all of this possible. He used to go to school not far from the stadium here. He's a Millwall fan growing up. Millwall's training ground isn't too far away from here. But was born in Bromley and wants to leave a legacy in Bromley.
A very good man as well. Still owes me a few quid from the golf in the summer.
Still going on about that, are we? Ipswich Town looking to try and flex their muscle here. Humphreys ball in. There's Johnson. It's Johnson! He's in the mood tonight.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was a slight foul in the box. And Johnson picks the pieces up here, really strikes it sweetly, doesn't he? On target, it causes the goalkeeper major problem. It's always just rising. Slight nick and a good save as well from Sam Long.
Yeah, Sam Long heavily involved again, and he might be once more here. That's his defenders take care of business that time. Bromley looking for something on the counter-attack here. Denanga. Rifles up there with him. It's Denanga! It's a brilliant block. Barbrook got back, making his debut, and made sure he put a full stop to that as Bromley looked to make the headlines again.
Oh, it's brilliant. It really is. I mean, from both scales here, the counter-attack. Great run there from Denanga. And I'll tell you what, credit to Finlay Barbrook. He does well because he's forcing it out wide, but he also knows he has to stand on his feet until that last minute. He does. He gets a real crucial touch. That is goal bound. That should be really 2-1. Could have been a simple pass across as well for Eiffel, who was fuming he didn't get that pass.
Well, the danger not gone yet as far as Ipswich are concerned. Pinnock with that ball in that time. Benny doing the defending for Ipswich Town and standing his ground.
I say they've looked so dangerous, haven't they, when they've gone on that counter-attack. It's brilliant. I mean, they're so exposed. This is why you have to credit the young man. I mean, could he have just slipped that pass across? Rifle was in acres of space. Big credit to Barbrook getting back and knowing that he has to force it out wide and making a real key touch.
Well, the board doesn't appear to be working on the far side, but it is Sol Kader who is coming on here for Bromley, and that was the final act for Marcus Dinanga.
And please welcome to the field number 24, Sol Kader.
Really disappointed that he hasn't hit the back of the net there. It was a real big opportunity for Bromley.
But again, we are seeing just why Bromley are effective on the counter-attack. But Ipswich managed to stop it that time.
Yeah, they've been so much better though, haven't they, when they've had the opportunity to play the balls forward. They haven't forced the issue, they've waited for bits of movement and then picked the pass. So that's what's been more evident in this second half, is that they took more care with the ball when they've had the opportunity to get the ball forward.
There's Cheek. Looking to bulldoze his way through. This was always going to be a night fraught with danger for Ipswich Town, a fallen Premier League club coming here in the first round of the Carabao Cup. Looks like a bit of movement on that Ipswich Town bench on the far side. George Hurst and Sammy Smodics, two of those who are ready to enter the action. There's Ogbene. Ogbene again, he's dug that cross out. Barbrook, Chaplin. There's Johnson, getting forward again. It's Johnson! Well, he's having his opportunities tonight, he's taken one.
He's been outstanding, hasn't he? And he's finding himself in really good areas. I mean, that is more or less a 10 position, drifting in from his fullback position, but he does well, great feet, and then doesn't have the end product.
So here come the changes. Jack Taylor, George Hurst, who slammed home the penalty at St Andrews on Friday night, and Sammy Smodics, all about to come on for Ipswich. We're hearing Jack Clark will make way. Chidozie Ogbene another.
Substitution for Ipswich Town, replacing number 47, Jack Clark, is number 23, Sam Smodics. And replacing number 21, Chidozie Ogbene, number 9, George
So Ogbene
Hurst.
withdrawn. George Hurst, who was asked for that number 9 shirt this season at Ipswich Town. His dad David used to wear number 9 in his playing career. George Hurst feels a striker should want to wear that number 9 shirt, so that's why he's got it this season.
And replacing number 35, Finley Barbrook.
Yeah, he looks really hungry as well, doesn't he? Watch him running around, he's so much energy, an awful lot to offer. Big season ahead for him.
And Finn Barbrook is the other to make way for Ipswich Town. That wonderful block he made a few moments ago has kept Ipswich level in this tie. So Barbrook off, Jack Clark withdrawn, Ogbene also off, Hurst, Smodics and Jack Taylor on.
Yeah, it looks like Mohamed is going to come out on this right-hand side. Chaplin, maybe 2 10s with Smodic pushing high up the pitch. Obviously Hurst will go and be that focal point for them.
We've mentioned before how effective Kieran McKenna has been at making changes in the Championship the season before last. Maybe it was the opposite in the Premier League in terms of the opposition being really useful with their bench last season, but Kieran McKenna's substitutions always planned. He always has it in his mind what to do if ahead, if behind, if drawing in a contest, who will be coming on, and of course Ogbene withdrawn, making his way back from injury. There's Al Hamadi. Cheek with eyes on that, and it's Humphreys who got up in front of Wolfenden. Humphreys again, an outstanding player for Wycombe last season during his loan spell there. Young. That's with the running behind. Reminder, by the way, we will go straight to penalties if it's level after 90 minutes. Humphreys to deliver that set piece. There's Kipre. Now Ashley Young. Humphreys. There's Young again. He won this tournament with Manchester United, was a runner-up during his time with Aston Villa. Johnson. Ali Al Hamadi. It's not enough on it to find Young, who's now out of position. And Bromley looking to pounce. Pinnock. It's a good play there from Humphreys, who just managed to get back and hold up Pinnock. Forward by Hondermark, away by Wolfenden.
Yeah, he's been excellent, hasn't he, Humphreys? Really come in there and always wanted to get on the ball. Probably gone under the radar a bit this evening.
Went to his time at Wycombe last season. He was Wycombe's Young Player of the Year during his time last season. Cameron Humphreys. Very much an Ipswich Town heartbeat to that Ipswich Town midfield at the start of play tonight, with Humphreys and Barbrook. Barbrook having since departed. Ipswich looking to try and settle the game here. Taylor, it's Hurst who brings the ball under his spell. And this time it's Bromley making huge blocks. Arthurs and Odoteo both trying to get in the way of that.
Yeah, cause their own problems. On the mark, giving the ball away. Schmodic pounces. Great run there as well from that Taylor. Really trying to give him support. I expect this to be goal bound. Hurst gets hold of it, strikes it. Every good striker does. Defensively, the job's done again.
Into the final 15 minutes. The flick away by Jude Arthurs once more. Chaplin's ball in, Hurst was there, Al Hamadi too. It spins behind for a goal kick.
That's where you expect Ipswich to really turn the screw, particularly the subs that they brought on. Fresh legs, energy.
Ashley Charles is about to come on for Ben Crowhouse at the heart of that Bromley midfield.
Substitution for Bromley. Please show your appreciation for the man leaving the field, number 7, Ben Crowhouse.
So Ben Crowhouse's night is over. Ashley Charles, who was born in Watford, aside from Wealdstone, he comes on for Bromley. I thought he was dancing there for a second, Andy Woodman. His best friend, Gareth Southgate. And he is looking to try and engineer a cup shock here. Forward by Young. Adeteu in the way. Pinnock hits the deck, thought he was fouled. The referee having none of it. Here's Sammy Smodix. Hamady involved again. Now Humphreys. This time the whistle is blown and Ipswich get the free kick.
Yeah, picking up the pieces again. Ashley Charles has come in to sit in there now, I feel. Get to that stage of the game, aren't we, where probably be thinking about penalties when we hold on. Make it really compact in there. Good Arthur's alongside him.
Ipswich Town fans making the noise in this part of the world right now. Young with that ball in. Craig going to ground.
Cross front. Ashley Young just filters all the way back. No one looking at that back post. Disappointed.
Well, right now, Ashley Young going the distance, 40 years of age, making his Ipswich Town full debut tonight. Not quite the reception when he came on at Birmingham City on Friday. I'm sure you've heard that before, Lee. There's Hurst. Young again. I suppose the clue's in the name. There's Al Hamady. Ashley Young once more. Another ball in. Will try and get Bromley up the pitch here. Young. There's Kipre. Wolfenden. Kipre. Heading towards the final 10 minutes of this Carabao Cup tie. Ashley Young. Al Hamady looking to try and make that move in behind. Ashley Young. Chaplin. There's Kipre. Kipre rolling that ball through. Taylor seen off for now. Now Cader making his way forward. Cheeks to his right. Sol Cader. There's Cheek. It's Cheek who's pulled it back. And again, another important block by Ipswich Town to make sure that that didn't progress any further as Arthurs saw the headlines waiting.
Yeah, they've done that really well in this second half, the counter-attack. Solkada coming on, just waiting for the support from Michael Cheek. He gets it, doesn't force the issue. This is what's been good. He gets the support there. There's a big block from Ashley Young.
Show me having a word with Arthurs. Ipswich again having to take evasive action. Goes behind for another Bromley corner, despite the Ipswich Town protests.
Yeah, it was a real dangerous one as well. It was whipped in right on the money. Whipped in at pace. See, Show Me's just waiting for that header to come to that ball to come through. He can head that towards goal.
Yeah, it was Hurst who was stretching at that near post to get a vital touch on it for Ipswich. Away, scored in the first half from a set piece, is waiting again. And it's Show Me who rose the highest but couldn't direct it on target.
I tell you, that's a big chance. It really is. And it puts a decent delivery into the box. Show Me gets away and he rises above everyone. He just doesn't get the clean contact on the header. Glances it rather than heading through the ball.
He is from Colchester, but as we said earlier on, he was at Ipswich Town. Omar Show Me left there for Yeovil as the flag goes up here to put an end to that Ipswich Town move.
Well, this is the interesting one since making them changes. Not the likes of Smodic, obviously playing really high up with Chaplin. Jack Taylor's really joined in. Humphries is having to be the one that's just sitting, and that's why on them turnovers it's a dangerous one, because moving themselves a little bit like Ipswich, particularly with the likes of Johnson getting forward, Ashley Young. That's why them turnovers just catch them out if they're not careful.
Chaplin. Strong challenge by Charles. Talk about how Bromley have progressed. You think about how Ipswich Town have progressed in recent years, back-to-back promotions to get to the Premier League. When Ipswich Town's new owners came in 2021, Ipswich Town were recording a turnover of around about £13 million. Now it's £190 million.
It's a brilliant journey that they've been on, isn't it? That's why you feel that, well, that's why they are favourites to go again, with the quality that they have. It's been an outstanding journey for them. Big football club.
Ashley Young now part of that football club, but he's struggling here as we head towards the final 5 minutes. Out to play from Humphries, probably the first foot he's put wrong all night at the heart of that Ipswich midfield. At the racecourse, they are going to penalties. It's finished Wrexham 3, Hull 3. So penalties are about to happen at the racecourse. There's always drama with Wrexham. Could we be going to penalties here? We're not far off it.
It's been a tight one to call, hasn't it? Both sides have had a good go, which have been better in the second half.
There's Pinnock motoring forward. Too much on that for Cheek. Young. As Ipswich try and play their way up the pitch. Al-Hamadi, they're going to penalties at the Hawthorns too. It's finished West Bromwich Albion 1, Derby 1 after 90 minutes. So penalties imminent there. Smodic, now Taylor. Chaplin. And again, he found that pocket of space but couldn't quite find the target.
Yeah, very close. out to that left side. Johnson that whips a really good delivery in, and as he does brilliantly, Connor Chaplin arrives late, heads it towards goal just past the post.
Key player in their promotion season, Connor Chaplin. They're 2 promotion seasons. There's Wolfenden. Young. Ipswich looking to finish the stronger here, and Long again comes up with the answer for Bromley. And Sammy Smodics holds his head.
Yeah, he knows it's a big chance, that's why. Brilliant turnover of play. Ashley Young, he's obviously looking for Chaplin, he disguises it. Didn't know whether Sammy Smodic could have had a touch into the box and then taken that on. It's clever. Wants to take it first time, he fancies his chances. We've seen him stick them in them far corners time and time again. Ends up a great save from Sam Long.
Jacob Greaves is on for Cedric Kipray. So Greaves on, Kipray off. We did see Sammy Smodic score 30+ goals for Blackburn this season. Before last, he's a wonderful finisher. It was kept out there by Long. Humphreys with the corner. Oh, they're claiming handball there. Greaves immediately into the action. Again, the officials unmoved. And the flag goes up here against Connor Chaplin.
And there's a lot of screaming and shouting over that far left-hand side. Big call for handball. Here, Greaves. Straight off the knee onto his arm, no handball. I know there's a big call, but not a chance.
Well, we did see Bromley give Newcastle a scare in the FA Cup last season when they took the lead at St James's Park before Newcastle got the better of them. They've given Ipswich Town a scare here tonight in the Carabao Cup. And as it stands, we're heading to penalties, unless there is a dramatic twist right at the end here. Taylor's made the advanced run again. The flag goes up for offside. We're heading towards 5 additional minutes.
Are we going to have a winning goal? That's the big question. We need something of quality.
Andy Woodman wants Ben Johnson to retreat maybe half a yard. Said he's a character. He also drives high standards here as well, the Bromley boss. Confirmation of 5 additional minutes at the end of this game. There's Connor Chaplin taken off him by Arthurs. Now Pinnock. He has played top division football in Scotland with Kilmarnock. Tomorrow we are in the second city, Birmingham City against Sheffield United. See that from 7 on Sky Sports Football. The second round draw is at 7:20 live on Sky Sports Football. We're not too sure yet whose name from this tie will be in that.
Just looking at Andy Woodman over there, just telling them just to calm down, just take your time. I see this as a big opportunity. Too right they should.
There goes Ashley Young. Moved on by Chaplin. That's Johnson. Ashley Young closing in. Young sending that ball in, but no takers at the far post.
Well, just going to sing his praises, because he's been excellent this evening. Ashley Young really led by example, wanted the ball, tried to force Ipswich high up the pitch.
Well, he started 19 games for Everton last season. Ashley Young, I mentioned earlier on, he was a regular starter for a while under Sean Dyche in that right-back position at Goodison. Looked like he was heading back to his first love, Watford, in the summer, but then Ipswich Town came calling. There's Ali Al-Hamadi. Plenty breaking forward, away to his left. Show me in the way again for Bromley. He's had that kind of night. There's Young. It's Charles, who's left grounded. Bromley face Fleetwood at the weekend. Fleetwood, who started well. Ipswich Town hosts Southampton on Sunday at Portman Road. Ali Al-Hamadi to Chaplin. Taylor. Now Johnson. Johnson's ball in. Ali Al-Hamadi! Couldn't finish the chance off against his old club.
Well, well, well. I felt that there was going to be something that just might come about. This is a massive chance to seal the deal. Oh, Hamadi, what? Yard out, super delivery. Ben Johnson, he's got to score. He really has. Gets it all wrong. I mean, it is a tight angle, but anything contact towards goal, I think it really going to be tough for Sam Long in goal. Massive chance.
Was that the chance to win it inside the 90 minutes? Ali Al-Hamadi, who it looks like will be heading out on loan again before the window shuts.
Ben Johnson's been excellent since he's come on as well, hasn't he? Really made an impact down that left-hand side. Obviously not just for his goal, but good delivery that he's put into the box.
Humphreys. Chaplin runs into trouble that time. There's Cheek. Runners either side of him. It's Cheek. Now Eiffel bearing down on goal. And Bromley get their big chance right at the end.
Another big chance. Eiffel. Cheek does well here. He's got pressure on him and he just picks a lovely little pass at Eiffel. He just gets that little nudge, doesn't he, from Ben Johnson that just puts him off track. Just pushes it wide.
Well, I'm not surprised he's got cramp. I've got cramp just watching him tonight.
He's covered some ground up and down the flanks. Hard working.
Well, does that mean we are heading to penalty kicks to find a winner here? We've had the 5 additional minutes. Taylor for Ipswich Town. Show me in a way again. We will go the distance. Bromley have stood their ground against Ipswich Town. They held the lead against Ipswich Town thanks to Deji Eleraway in the first half, but Ipswich responded right at the start of the second half. Substitute Ben Johnson drove home after Connor Chaplin's effort had been diverted onto the crossbar by Sam Long. Both teams had chances towards the end but couldn't take them. We will have a penalty shootout to decide the winner of this Carabao Cup tie. Full time, it's finished Bromley 1, Ipswich Town 1.
Well, they had chances, didn't they, Michael Brown, both sides towards the end there?
Yeah, they did. You're just waiting to see if there was going to be a winner, and I felt with it being Ipswich, obviously the team who are a little bit higher, for obvious reasons, generally find the outcome towards the end of the games, but they held strong, they waited, they had a good chance right at the end, Bromley, but they were certainly worthy of not getting beat in 90 minutes.
I suppose the interesting thing, Curtis, in that second half was that probably the more clear-cut opportunities, once Ipswich had equalised, came the way of the League Two side.
They did, yeah, and I think Dangana had both of them, really. The first one was set up by Michael Cheek, rolled it nicely across to him, really fancied him to score, just hit it straight out water, and then on the second occasion probably could have squared it to his teammate about 2 seconds before, and then once he'd made the decision to chop his side...
We were screaming saying, go on, you've got to square, you've got to put it across.
But once he doesn't, he chops in and then he still takes the wrong decision. But, you know, the fact that they've taken it to penalties, I think is good. I think Ben Johnson was probably Ipswich's most effective and dangerous player, but interesting to see how it goes over the penalties now.
Michael Cheek gives them a focal point, doesn't he?
Yeah, he definitely does. That understanding, that calmness, when you're in a good run of form, when you're scoring goals, even that at the end there, as you're just waiting, other people would have released it, calm and composed, but now you just feel and say who's going to be the ones. You just see when there's cramp kicking around and Bromley giving too much. The quality, the seniority of players, we'll soon see, but it's times now, early on in the season, where you have that wobble, you're walking up, you have that feeling. Don't you think, as I've missed a couple, been involved in them, but...
Yeah, luckily I was never put forward too often to do this, but yeah, it's one of those. I think for those Ipswich players, got a few fresh legs on the pitch that would fancy themselves to score. But Bromley have had a good game, so hopefully they'll be confident and can make a match of it.
There have been some games that have gone to penalties and have already been decided. Tonight, Wrexham Hull went to penalties. That went the way of Wrexham. West Brom Derby went to penalties. That's gone the way of Derby. We'll wrap everything up a little bit later on for you here on Sky Sports Football, but they are ready to go virtually with the penalties here at Bromley. So let's return to Lee and Gary.
Yes, thank you, Mark. So the penalties will be taken at Bromley's favourite end, the North Terrace end of this place. Christian Walton of Ipswich Town, Sam Long of Bromley. One of those two could well be a hero here. Sam Long, who was released by Crystal Palace. You've heard of expected goals. At Crystal Palace, they had expected height, and they weren't expecting him to grow as much as he has when he was released, age 14. He's had to fight for his career, as has Christian Walton of Ipswich. So it will be Sam Long in front of the North Terrace, and it will be George Hurst who scored a penalty under pressure at Birmingham City late on Friday, who is the first to step up here with that number 9 on his back, which he has demanded to wear at Ipswich this season. It's Hurst, saved by Long. He knew exactly where it was going, and he blocked it. And Hurst has missed.
He's had a good evening, hasn't he? Sam Long, he guesses the right way. It's hit firmly from Hurst, but guessing the right way. It's not tucked right in that corner. It's a nice height for the goalkeeper. Well, it's a good save and a good start.
Goalkeepers always roll their eyes when they hear that comment. Long in the way of it. Now it's Michael Cheek who has made his way forward here for Bromley, and a chance to put them in front in a shootout against Christian Walton. It's Cheek! No messing about from him, and Bromley have the advantage.
Did you have any doubt, Gary? I didn't. And I'll tell you what, he stepped up and he hit it with so much conviction. That's the way to take a penalty. No doubt.
Sammy Smodic steps forward for Ipswich Town. Bromley with the advantage after the first round of penalties. Bromley have won their last 3 shootouts. Ipswich lost in the second round of this competition in a penalty shootout last season at Wimbledon. It's Sammy Smodics, beautifully done. And Ipswich are on the board.
Yeah, top penalty from a top player. Sammy Smodics, so much composure, steps up. That little jink, sending the goalkeeper the other way. Tucks it in that far corner.
So all 3 penalties so far have gone to the goalkeeper's right. Ashley Charles, the next to make his way forward. In front of that North Terrace, which is pleading for a cup upset tonight. It's Charles, and Walton responds.
What a good save. Again, Charles steps up. It's hit with pace. Looked to be going in that far corner. Walton gets down. It's actually not right in that corner, is it? But I think he's favoured that side as well. Big man makes a big, big save.
Well, goalkeepers, as Andy Woodman, a former keeper himself, do so much work ahead of facing penalties. So much work with the analysts who'll watch penalties and deliver the information to the keepers. There goes Ben Johnson. He's had a really good night since coming on at half-time. He scores again. He stares into the eyes of the North Terrace.
Yeah, he's had a very good evening since he's come on. And this is well composed, very casual step up.
So now the pressure has switched to Bromley. Christian Walton saving the last penalty kick. Jude Arthurs has made his way forward here for Bromley, looking to level up. It's Arthurs who scores. Clinically done.
Well, it went so silent here for a moment, and that's when you feel added pressure, but credit to Arthurs. Really good penalty, sending the goalkeeper the other way.
So now Ashley Young has broken forward from that group of Ipswich Town players. The most experienced player on this pitch. Ashley Young, bang! He still got it.
Wow, what a penalty that is. Have a look at that one. That is driven in that far corner. I'm not sure many goalkeepers would have saved that.
Well, that would still be heading towards Ipswich if that net wasn't in the way. Ferocious hit. Now Idris Odeteo, I should say, who's been such a part of this Bromley back line here tonight. And he scores! Nerveless.
Yeah, very casual. Odeteo. I've seen some decent penalties. That little bit of movement from the goalkeeper, trying to put him off. Didn't whatsoever. Tucks it in nicely.
So the final one of the 5 now for Ipswich Town, and it's Connor Chaplin who has made his way forward. Up against Sam Long. Chaplin! Another perfect penalty.
Yeah, very good penalty from Connor Chaplin. That was the pressure one, wasn't it, as well? He thrives off that. Good quality, good penalty.
So now the heat is really on. The pressure is really on. This has to be converted by Mitch Pinnock. It's Pinnock who picks out the bottom corner, and we carry on.
Well, not a bad standard. I always favour the lefties. This is casual. It's just gone underneath. Walton guesses the right way.
So now to the players who maybe weren't so keen in being in the first 5 takers.
I've never been one of them, Gary.
You do surprise me. Ali Al-Hamadi against his old club. He won the FA Trophy with Bromley back in 2022. Al-Hamadi, it's kept out by Sam Long, and suddenly Bromley have the advantage.
Well, whether there's a time to save the penalty, it's that one. Now, Hamadi, let's not forget he missed that big chance. What a save that is from Sam Long. He's had a brilliant evening in goals.
Well, is he the hero right now? Forward marches Marcus Eiffel. History is waiting for Bromley. Eiffel! He's done it! Bromley take down the big name of Ipswich Town at their humble home. A tiny club, but with a big heart and big ambition, have made history again tonight. Their first ever League Cup win, and they've taken out Ipswich.
Yeah, this is what the cup competition's all about. They're coming up against top quality players, and that's what Ipswich have at their peril. Just wasn't good enough this evening. I think they huffed and puffed, but credit to Bromley. Really dug deep, defended gamely, and they've got their rewards. I mean, the scenes here, absolutely brilliant. Lower tier have showed that they can compete. What a scout this is.
22-year-old Sam Long, the goalkeeper, making the saves. A player released by Crystal Palace because he wasn't big enough as a teenager. Look at him now, just one of the many stories in this Bromley team. And as far as the Carabao Cup is concerned, Bromley's story goes on. They are through on penalties.
And as Lee said, Curtis, you know, they were competitive throughout the whole 90 minutes, Bromley.
Yeah, 100%. I think, as we said before the game, I thought Ipswich were going to have a lot of the ball, and it was more going to be about transitions and set pieces, as you said. But they actually were, and in the game, they had the better individual chances. Throughout the game, they never really looked in a lot of danger, to be honest. I know even when they brought on the likes of Hurst and Smodic, and
it wasn't chance after chance after chance, was it?
It wasn't a wave, no, and they did really well. And you can say on the balance of the way they did things, they maybe deserved it.
I think when you look as well and you sort of say, well, the way they moved the ball around, they let Bromley get back into a shape, they were organised, they were patient and knew the drill that we discussed before the game, and set pieces, staying in it, was something of importance. But I think after that, Bromley did create in open play when they counter-attacked in some good areas, created some good opportunities. And the delight for these football clubs when we go into early rounds in cup competitions, this is what we love, this is what we come and see, and we hope we witness something like this at the start, and to win it as they've done, it's been a real special night for Bromley.
And you can see what it means. You can see what it means to them. And
it's another opportunity when the draw comes up tomorrow to possibly get another big team. And if they either get them down at their place, or they might be able to get a big away day and go and play at a big stadium. So yeah, fair play to them. They deserved it on the night, and Ipswich will be looking at themselves and wondering how they didn't get through that.
And their penalty shootouts heroes are waiting to talk to Natalie Jedra.
Boys, well done. You just knocked out one of the strongest teams in the championships. You look around the party here amongst the fans. How does it feel?
Yeah, obviously delighted. You know, you come into these games and you're not really expecting, you know, to get the result. But we believe from the start, you know, watching their clips, and we've been going for it all week. So yeah, we're just delighted.
A few years ago, it would be hard to think that Bromley can be living an evening like this. How big does it feel right now?
Yeah, it's big, you know, the passion of the club and where the club wants to go. You're seeing that when we play these big teams, we ain't scared, we ain't afraid, and hopefully more to come.
And not bad for you. Good 90 minutes and 2 penalty saves.
Yeah, no, obviously the penalty saves are a bonus, but I'm just happy I could help the lads out. And to be fair to them, they put the pens away when they needed to. So.
But you're a young goalkeeper, and you were released from Crystal Palace because they apparently told you that you weren't tall enough. How does it feel right now to leave this moment?
Yeah, no, it's great to be on the pitch. Like when people told me maybe I couldn't many years ago, but now I'm here living these moments. Like it's what you live for, innit? And hopefully more to come. See we get in the next round.
You guys were brilliant in the penalties, but you were brilliant as well, competing in the 90 minutes. I imagine you are exhausted because you are running up the pitch all the time.
Yeah, for sure, but that's what you got to do against these teams, you know. It's not going to be easy. You got to run, you got to show passion, you got to fight, and first, not be scared at all either. You know, this is the times you live for, and I'm glad I put one of the best performances I have this season at the moment, so yeah.
What was key in showing how brave you guys were today?
I think just not letting them have their way, really. This is our ground. Got to show them why it's our ground. Make them feel uncomfortable. They're not really used to this sort of style of football or whatever it is. So, yeah, I'm just happy to get a win, really, and it's over.
This is a great moment for Bromley. How big of a statement is it in terms of ambitions of the club as well?
Yeah, it's massive. You know, we come into the season, we were positive going into the first couple of league games after a good pre-season. So to get that result tonight, hopefully Saturday get another result. We're looking good at the start of the season, but you know, I'm just glad we could get the win tonight.
Marcus, you were brilliant this evening, but tonight I'll ask you to do the honours. Player of the match.
Okay, there you go. Well done, man.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Marcus, you were brilliant this evening, but that isn't yours. If you could just hand it over. And there he is with the Player of the Match trophy. Shock there with Bromley going through on penalties. There have been other shocks this evening. Big win for Doncaster at Middlesbrough. Their third goal there coming from Robbie Gotts, but they put 4 past the Championship side, and Doncaster are into tomorrow's draw. Bradford are through as well, another League One side knocking out Championship opposition. Will Swan with the second. They scored 2 in the first 4 minutes, did Bradford, and they've knocked Blackburn out by 2-1. And here's our third League One side putting out a Championship team. Andre Garcia with one of Reading's goals, and they have won at Fratton Park and put Portsmouth out, also 2-1 there. Now at the racecourse, Wrexham were going out. They were 3-1 down going into second half stoppage time, and Ollie Palmer scored twice in 90-plus minutes. This is the second of those, and that was enough to take the game against Hull to penalties. And then they won it. Jack Marriott with the winning penalty in what looks like a full house at the racecourse, and Wrexham have put out Hull City. And another all-championship tie went to penalties as well. Anna Hegebo with the equaliser for Ryan Mason's West Brom, so it finished 1-1, but Carlon Grant had his penalty saved by Josh Vickers, and John Eustace's side are through to the second round as well. So plenty of shocks and plenty of surprises throughout the Carabao Cup this evening. All of the results are there, and confirmation of some of those goals that we've shown you. I mean, there are some other shocks there. League 2 Accrington putting Peterborough out 2-1 this evening. And Salford, another team to go out on penalties. Rotherham won that on penalties. Stoke needed penalties to get past Walsall. And confirmation as well of Derby and Wrexham going through on penalties. As far as the southern section is concerned, another good win for Bristol City. They've put MK Dons out this evening. Cardiff have beaten League 2 Swindon. AFC Wimbledon went through on penalties against Gillingham. Leyton Orient beaten at home by Wickham. Southampton squeaked past Northampton. There was a very good goal for Oxford as they beat Colchester by a goal to nil. Plymouth, interestingly, 2-0 down at home to QPR and came back to win by 3-2. The all-championship tie between Watford and Norwich went the way of Liam Manning's side. Tomorrow night, we have Birmingham against Sheffield United for you. Live on Sky Sports Football. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff, but we also have the draw for the second round pre-match. That will be at 7:20. Tennis is going on at the moment on Sky Sports Tennis, day 6 of the Cincinnati Open, and that's live now. And the award-winning series is back. Amsterdam Narcos. They're in the Dutch capital looking at the Amsterdam underworld. All episodes are available from Wednesday on Sky Documentaries. So we will have plenty more reaction to come from Bromley's win over Ipswich. They've gone through on penalties. We will hear from both managers before we leave here, but Bromley are into tomorrow's second round draw.